Hello everyone, good evening. Today I'm going to give a software presentation on one of the machine learning software which is like free of use, like they are the open source, and it's not so complicated for any beginners because they don't have to write much coding on this. So I'm here to explain about RapidMiner Studio. So just to give a quick introduction on the history behind this software is this has been found in 2006 by Dr. Ingo Mieswa and Dr. Ralph Klinkenberg. They initially started as a research project for their artificial intelligence unit. So the main goal was to develop as an open source platform for the machine learning projects. So this was came into existence in 2007. Since then, it has been available for the users in the market as an open source. So we don't have to purchase the software, and even they give a free trial license version for at least an year for the users to work on it. So that's one good thing about like having an open source, especially in data science and machine learning projects. And coming to the software, like what actually we have the positives in this RapidMiner Studio is like it is an integrated environment like for the data preparation, machine learning, predictive analysis, even model deployment. Apart from that, they are even useful for the visualization techniques. So even they have the inbuilt visualization techniques for in their particular user interface, which is helpful. Like you don't have to like provide any lengthy Python coding or any algorithms to just do the predictive analysis on your data. So this software, it is like it has got a wide range of features and capabilities, like because this is the user interface for this particular software is kind of like a drag and drop interface, so that the user can easily build the data pipelines and analytical workflows without any coding. Like you don't have to write any coding for this. Basically it's just a drag and drop, just like how we have the Tableau visualization studio. We do have for the machine learning techniques, like you don't have to write any classification or the cross validation coding algorithms to just predict your data. So that's one plus in this particular RapidMiner Studio. So it also has a like lot of features in it, and its usage is very easy. Like you don't have to like complicate it in providing the codes, or like you have to learn all the basic Python. Just with the help of the tutorials available, it is easy to go through this software, like how to use it and how to implement it. So that's one of the advantage of this particular RapidMiner Studio. This has been in existence since 2020 in many industries like healthcare and other industries. They started using, since it's an open source, and it's the license version is also not as expensive as the other softwares which are available in the industry. So for that reason, this is becoming popular nowadays because of its open source facility. So coming to the installation and the setup procedure for this Rapid Studio. So this RapidMiner Studio is easy to install. Like we can just get into the official website. So if we get into this official website, like you can install like directly for your Windows. Like you can just install it, and the other setups, everything will be like it's easy, that you don't have to take any additional steps. So once the installation is done, you have pretty simple on-screen instructions which will be given by the RapidMiner Studio. So that based on that, you can start working on your interface. So like you have to install it, and once it's installed, you just have to set up your environmental variables for this. Consider like you have the environmental variable set up to your Altair license path. So you will be having a default license on using the trial version. So just set up this environmental variables, projecting it to your RapidMiner Studio. And once this installation is done, then we can just create an account for this particular RapidMiner Studio. So once you're creating an account, you will be given 1 year free license where you can log in as a student or any organization employee, so that you will be getting a 1 year license free, so that you don't have to pay for that version to use this particular software. So these are the like basic steps where you will be installing this software, and once it's installed, you can just open it with the basic setup. So once you just give your account details with the connecting to the license, so you will be taken to this particular user interface. So this is how your user interface it looks like when you installed your RapidMiner Studio software. So after this, like what exactly we are working on it. Like so, this is the installation and the setup procedure. After this, like this is your user interface, like how I have shown you in the actual software page. So this is how you will be having. And then if you take, so what are the advantages of this particular software? So as I told earlier, so this is mainly like an open source. That's one advantage, like you don't have to pay for it. And then the major thing is the scalability. So this is effectively it's used for processing the large data sets and accommodate the data volumes which has it is like it can easily accommodate even like larger volumes of data sets. So in that case, the process will not get affected if you're trying to run a larger data set. And the second one is, as I told, the ease of use, which is it's you don't have to write any complicated coding. It's full of the drag and drop. So if you see the interface here, so like I can show you the demo after this advantages. So it is the user interface itself is like pretty simple, and it's kind of easy to like understand, like whoever is a beginner in analyzing a data set, then for them it is a better platform to work with it. So that's the only thing, like this is very easy, and it is the interface is just like a drag and drop interface which like by creating complex data pipelines and the workflows without even writing a single code. So this is one of the advantage, and then it has got the comprehensive toolbox. So if you see here, like we have got like a lot of toolboxes, like you have the repository, the operators, the process, these are the dashboard view. So I'll be explaining this later in my next slide. But these are the comprehensive toolbars, like which are very helpful in the data pre-processing, the modeling, evaluation, and the visualization techniques. So that's one of the advantage of using the RapidMiner. And you even the users can easily combine the different operations to just create the workflow without any like complex coding. So that's one thing. And then the final one, which I have already told you, they have the inbuilt visualization tools for exploring the data, analyzing the model performance, and creating the interactive dashboards and reports. So that's one of the plus. Like, so in notebooks, in Jupyter Notebook or in Google Colab, we have to write the visualization codings to show the visualization separately. Whereas in this particular software, we have the inbuilt visualization techniques, so that it is easy to explore the data visually, like instead of writing lengthy codes. So these are the major advantages of using this rapid miner studio. And coming to the next slide, so this is the key functionality. So as I told, so in my rapid miner interface, so this is the user interface once you install the software. So here we have got several key toolboxes, which is like the major is the repository and the operators. So this is the views, which where you can see all the views, like the design view, the results, auto model, interactive analysis. And we'll be having the process tab. So these are all the basic tools which are available in this particular interface. So let's like talk about the repository. So this repository tab is something like where you can so here is where you will be having your data. So if you want to import a data, or if you have any inbuilt data, so these are the samples where you will have some of the inbuilt data sets. So if you want to explore, if you are a beginner, if you want to just explore on these data, you can just make use of these data sets, so that you can do a predictive analysis on this and see how it is working. Or else if you have an if you want to import a data, like you have a data set like in any format, so that's one plus in this. Like importing a data, it can be like a CSV file, or it can be in Excel sheet, anything like. So it doesn't have to be only from the database, so that also is possible in this. So you can import a data from your system, and then you can work on any of the data files. So I do have a data with me, like I can show you a sample data. So yeah, so here I have a sample data in an Excel format. Let me just take it from there. So this is one sample data in Excel format where we can use it for working on a particular data set. So we have a housing CSV data set, or like I can use a simple data which is, yeah, so this is one of the simple Excel data file. So I can import this. So it's like this is one thing, like you can import also, as well as you have some samples like which you, if you want to work on it. So right now I can show all this in my final demo. So this is about the repository where you can import and you can just make use of all the data. And the next one is the operators. So this is the main section in this particular interface, where you will if you want to do any kind of machine learning or data science techniques, like if you want to like do a predictive analysis. So if you see, you will have a lot of thing, like you want to do a decision tree, you want to do a random forest, you can just select those and you can apply on your data. So this is one of the functionality. Like we have the modeling, we have the predictives, and we have the neural networks and the deep learning concepts, the NLP, the time series. So these are the things which are available in the operators. So anything you can apply to this, like see, you can do cross validation if you want to do any validation techniques, or if you want to perform any scoring. So these are all available in the operators section. And then is the process. So if you want to give any parameters, or so that is you can directly assign here. and then this is your process view. Like if you are creating a model, so your model, you will be dragging and pasting it in this particular view. So this is your design view. So whatever you're planning to develop through your data, so that's will be in your design view. So in your view section, you can see this the design results, turbo prep, auto model, and the interactive analysis. So this is the design view which will show in your process tab. Whereas once if you're done with your model, if you just run using the play button, then it will show the results in your like results tab. So this will be your result view. Suppose if I'm taking a sample data, I'll be able to see them in the results. And this turbo prep is something like we can't be using at this point, but auto model is also easy. Like when I'm like loading the data, I'll be showing you a demo on how the auto model also works. And interactive analysis is not available for this version. So if you're taking any paid version, interactive analysis is more helpful. So this is the overall explanation for each of the key functionalities in this particular RapidMiner interface. So let's go to the next slide. So this is what I explained about the process page and the views tab. So the next one is how we play this RapidMiner Studio in action. So this is something like, as I told, it doesn't have to be like a specific data set. It can be a huge volume data set. It can be a CSV file. It can be from a direct database, like you can connect to a SQL or Oracle. And then the pre-processing is also easy. Like you can do all the like cleaning of the data, the missing values, everything can be easily done in this. And you can build a model using the operators tab which we have. Like we have the decision tree, we have the regression, the NLP techniques. So these are all available in your operations, and the evaluating the models can be done once you just create your model. And when you run your model, you'll be able to do all the evaluation techniques, and then the deployment is very easy once your final model is created. So in the interface, once your final model is created and you get the results, you can easily import it, and you can just save it, and you can deploy it anywhere, like wherever you want. Just like how you have your Python file or your notebooks, you can just run that particular model in any interface. So that's one of the major advantage of using this particular open source. And moving on to the next slide. So as I told you, this is an user friendly interface, and it's easy for any beginner because it has got everything available easily in the website. So if you just go to the RapidMiner website page, we will have their tutorials and the documentation. So if you are stuck anywhere, like if you want to explore more on the particular user interface, so we have the help option. So if you go to the help option, we'll have the free tutorial. So if you are a beginner, you can just go through the free tutorials, and then you can work on it, like how to develop a model, like how to run the predictive analysis, how to create a visualization. So this one is little bit it's more helpful compared to any coding software like which we are using right now. So this is helpful. Apart from that, you have the documentation which is available online also. So if you just go to the their website, so they have their free documentation. So if you want to how to run a process, if you want to create a model, or if you have to import a data set, so everything like connecting to the database, so everything is available in their web page. So that's the only reason that this is very helpful for beginners. So whoever wants to work on a machine learning project or a data science project, so this is really helpful for who are a person who's not into coding. For them, this particular software is really helpful. So the to just give a small demo on this particular software, like since I told, it's is a user friendly, so it's easy to show a sample data set to let's see like how it is working for this particular data set. So this is the user interface. So once you install, you will be getting this user interface and you can just start working on any data set. So if you see the repository, there are few, like in under the samples you can see some of the inbuilt data sets. Like they already have some sample data sets which you can explore if you are a beginner, if you want to study, you can explore these data sets. Also, as I told you, we can also import. So something like if you have an CSV file, or if you have something in text document, you can import it and then you can work on that as well. So here I have a text, sorry, a CSV file. So I am planning to import that. So this is a Titanic plus data training. So I am importing this file. So you can see the data here. So even the missing values, everything will be available if you are trying to import this data. And if you could, yeah, so if you are loading, you are able to do this. And if suppose if you want to replace the errors with missing values also, you can check, or else it will default assign some of the missing values to it. So this is the data set. You can import this data. So I'm doing this in the data tab. So yeah, so this is the data set now I have taken. So we have all the details of the passengers list, the gender, name, age, all these details. Suppose if I'm working on a data set, I can use this, and then I can drag and drop this data to my so this is one thing I'm doing here. Let me close this tab. So this is in my design view. So now I have taken this data set. Suppose if you want to build a model for this particular data, so I can just drag and drop this here. So now I have retrieved this particular data set, and how do I present like how do I see the output? So it's like just a drag and drop, as I told. Just drag and then you can connect it to the results tab. So this will be your results tab, like if you want to see how your data set is looking. So this, and then if you just play, you'll be able to see your data here. So this is just a normal, I didn't do any major model here. I'm just viewing my data. So I'm able to see in my results tab. Even here, if you want to see your inbuilt visualization, if you want to do it without even doing any design to your flow, you can just do in this auto model. Okay, it's something, one of the feature we have here. So now I have this data. Suppose if I want to do any predictive analysis, so suppose I can okay, I can work on this. So this is something, a survived survived column, so which is like it is a categorical, so I can predict in this particular column like whether people who have how many people have survived or not. So I'm just selecting and I'm trying to do a predictive analysis for this. So this is the one, and then if I'm doing next, so it will show me a visual representation. This is just a target which is showing in a like a normal visual representation how it is showing the data, if it is like the people have survived or not. And then if you want to see, select any inputs to see the model type, so you can even do that also here. Like you can select what kind of columns you want to select, what is the different categories like the passenger fare, all this you can do. And then if you just go for the model type, so here all these all the models. So suppose I want to, on that particular data, I'm doing a predictive analysis on these models. So if you just run, it will show you a visual representation for all the models. So I don't want to do that for everything now. I'm just trying to do for basic. I'm not doing regression. So I'm doing for logistic regression, naive Bayes, decision tree. I'm not doing all this. So let's just to save time, we can just try on 2 3 models. So random forest. Okay. So now I'm just running my data. So based on the data we took and the predictive analysis, it will just start giving a kind of result, a visualization result for these models. Since I have taken only these three, like I'm able to see some outputs on these model, like what is the standard deviation, what is the like what are the gains, the classification errors. So these are some of the scorings. So this is one way, like you, if you want to explore your data, so this is one way like you can work on it. And as I told, the deployment is very easy. If you want to export this particular visualization or this particular model, you can use it and you can save it elsewhere, and you can like if you want to rerun it again, you can work like that. So this is one way. As I told, auto model is something you don't have to do even the drag and drop. If you're just selecting the data set and if you want to do just some basic modeling, then this is so helpful in auto model technique. And if you come to our design phase again, so now instead of doing the auto model, I can just do a drag and drop also. So now I'm just taking my data set, so I can just apply a simple predictive analysis. So maybe I can do a decision tree here. So we have all the like neural network, logistic regression, the SVM. So let me work on decision tree. So if, yeah, so I have taken the decision tree. Now I'm just connecting this, it's already connected. So I'm just connecting this data set to my decision tree, and my model, I'm just connecting it to my result. So now if I'm running my model, so this is not connected. So okay, so here it's not the training data set. Maybe for time being, I can take a different data set. So what I can do is, so I will take training data set and I'll work decision tree. So this is the same Titanic with the only the training data set. So it has been already separated. So I'm using this and I'm connecting it to my decision tree, and I'm trying to get my model in the results. So if I'm running, I'm able to see my decision tree, what are the predictive analysis, like whether the people have survived or not, like what is the status of the passengers. So this is a simple decision tree for that particular data set. So this we can see. If you want to analyze more, you can just change the values or you can work on it. So this is one thing, and even here you can create a predictive model for this. That's the same data set, just you're working. So this is something with the auto model, you're working on it. So if you want to select, it's already selected, and I'm just doing only the decision tree here. So if I'm just running, I'll be able to get my visualization for the decision tree model. So this is a visualization graph just to analyze the data, but that is the actual when you're dragging and pasting the model, you're trying to build a decision tree, or if you're doing any cross validation or support vector mission. So that is the something you will see in the results, where you will be getting your decision tree or whatever the results history, and this you can easily deploy it anywhere in the in your system so that you can rerun it again. So this is as simple as I told. This is like pretty easy and you don't have to do any major coding. So this is for a simple example I have given here for your for the demo session. And so you can practice, like we have the tutorials and the documentation available so that it is easy to um, practice. You don't need a lot of time to just work on if any data set you can start exploring in this particular tool. And coming back to the final thing is like where all they are using this tool. So majorly this tool, as I told, this software is used in mainly the predictive maintenance of the manufacturing industry. So it is like the machine learning models they use this to predict the equipment failures or any preventive maintenance task. For that they are using it in the manufacturing industry, and then in the customer churn prediction in telecommunications. So this is it identifies the customers at risk of churn and they take the proactive measures to retain them. And in fraud detection also in finance sector, in credit score, and everywhere, like it is helpful in detecting the fraud analysis. And even as I told, it's used in the NLP techniques like sentiment analysis of social media or any text categorization. So since we have the text piping, text filtering, and text categorization features which are available in the operators section, so that is also helpful so that you can work on many deep learning and NLP techniques as well for this particular softwares. So as I told, this is an open source. So feel free to install it and just try working on it. Like instead of you writing a Python code in notebook, just we can try using this software on any small data set, and we can see how it is actually working. So this is my presentation for the day, and thank you guys. If you have any questions related to it, you can feel free to comment on the chat box. Thank you.